All right, and welcome everybody to another episode of the M Sister Studios podcast. My name is Danielle Minetti. As always, I am here with my amazing co-host, which is just happens to be my sister as well, Miss Kimberly Minetti. Hi.
Wow, you used the full name.
So Kim, this podcast,
yes,
this podcast is all based around an idea you came up with. If you want to explain to everyone what that idea was,
yeah. I mean, I'm sure you guys figured it out because I'll put it in the title. But I thought it would be a fun idea to discuss some superhero movies, watch them, discuss them, and rank them in accordance to different categories. And I think we should have some episodes of like nerd talk.
Nerd talk?
You know?
Do you even know what nerd talk is, Kim?
No, because I'm not a nerd at all.
No, you're not. That's why I asked. I, for one, for superheroes, I feel like this was a thing for me. So that I didn't realize until I watched all these movies is I rather read about superheroes than watch superheroes for whatever reason. Because
that's
then, like,
interesting. But also, too, you're probably like, this is an overabundance of superhero movies.
This
like
is too much
of an overabundance. Like we're literally binge watching it. So like I can talk about it right now. Is that I spent the entire day today watching most of the films that we're
gonna talk about.
We're talking about today. So like I feel like an overabundance of stuff.
Yeah. It's funny,
but
though,
also to be fair, that was my own fault.
It's funny though when you say that, because the movies we're going to talk about today in terms of this universe, there's not an overabundance of them. The other one that we're going to talk about next, there is so many, like I lose track. I had to I started watching the movies for the next one and I'm like looking up Google. I'm like, where's this item in relevance to all of this? You know? So, but that will be something we'll discuss when we start about the
talk
movies.
About that probably.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure people can
figure it out.
I thought it would be a good idea because I just
oh, sorry.
No, well, I was gonna get into it.
Oh, I was gonna say superhero movies are never going away. They're just gonna be redone forever.
It's my bedtime. I took a nap today, so I'm good. But no, I don't want them to go away. I love them.
Mm-hmm.
I feel a giant urge after superhero movies to go out and just like save the world. I don't know about anybody else. They get me. They get me hyped when they're real. When you know,
they. I don't necessarily say they get me hyped, but it's like I want to look like a superhero.
Of course, who doesn't?
Yeah.
Who doesn't? But anyway, this idea of I don't know what to call it. My cat's going to the restroom right now, so I apologize. It came to me after I watched the Suicide Squad that had just came out on HBO Max, and I thought it'd be a good idea to talk about these movies because a lot of the movies that we've seen them together.
Yeah, surprisingly.
And it's been a while I've watched some of them. So I thought it'd be a good idea to just have something to talk about. And this is something that also can be reoccurring because there's so many superhero movies.
Yeah. It can just be updated for years and years to come.
And it probably will. Which I'm not complaining about. But so what Danielle and I are going to do today is we have taken 5 randomly selected DCEU films and 5 randomly selected MCU films to rank and discuss them. Today, we're going to do the first 5 from DCEU.
Mm-hmm.
And we've divided to make it kind of more fair because I think that what I wanted to do instead of being like, this one's my favorite. Yeah, I'm sure we overall will have different favorite ones, I think, just because we have different interests. But I think it would be a lot more interesting and telling to do kind of a point system because sometimes, even though your favorite movie is your favorite, they might be lacking in one area than the other. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it would kind of be more of a non-bias way to go about it. If you kind of have different subcategories that are going to be ranked from 1 to 5. So I came up with them because I did characters, plot, action, and then bonus points. Because I couldn't think of another. I was gonna put costumes, but like that's kind of lame.
That is lame.
So I was like bonus points. So ranking from all the movies 1 to 5, and then we'll have an overall score, and then you will do some maths and find the mean of each of the rankings and see what our list is, I guess.
Yeah. Overall, like combined between me and you. Like this is our number one, or like individual?
You have one.
Okay.
You have a list and I have a list.
Gotcha.
Because they could be different.
Gotcha. What are you right there? Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. What movie are we going with first?
Okay, well, we should say the movies.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I did I went onto like random spinner application on my computer, typed in all the DCEU movies. There's 10 of them.
Oh, is there?
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Did you consider?
Well, maybe like 9.5, but there's 10 of them technically.
Are you considering like the older, like the Batmans, like the Christian Bale Batmans?
No, the stuff in this universe.
There's 10?
Just this. There's 10.
Oh wait, there was no Superman. Okay, the one I know that wasn't in it was Superman versus Batman. That one wasn't in the list, so that's 6. I'm trying to think of the other 3.
Okay, because there's no standalone Ben Affleck Batman movie.
No.
So Batman v Superman's not in it. The original Justice League, Wonder Woman 1984, the 2 Suicide Squad movies,
and Wonder Woman, the first one.
Wonder Woman, yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm like, wait. Oh, so there is 10. Okay.
Yeah, there's 10. Mm-hmm. I thought there was less, but no, there's 10.
Yeah, I thought there was less too. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Anyways, we have Birds of Prey. The Emancipation of Harley Quinn. What? Why are you laughing?
The title's just so long.
Yeah, whatever. Zack Snyder's Justice League. Hello? Aquaman. No, don't laugh. I had to say it. I need to cut this out. Okay, ready? Aquaman, Shazam, and Man of Steel. Which is a good start.
Mix. Yeah.
A good mix.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So those are the 5 movies that have been selected first. We can go in that particular order, or do you have another order in which you want to start?
No preference.
Okay. I don't know where you pick. Just pick a movie to start.
I literally watched the movies in accordance to length. So everything but Justice League was first.
Okay. What was the first movie you watched?
Man of Steel.
Okay, let's start there.
Okay.
Man of Steel. Lead the conversation, Danielle. Go.
Okay. So my first impressions are when I first started watching Man of Steel, I first thought I forgot Russell Crowe was in this.
Yeah, right. I did too. I literally because we saw it at the theater together.
Yeah, because this
was
12
years ago, like almost 10 years ago, and I forgot Russell Crowe was in it as well.
This was before Navy Me. Like,
yeah,
what? That's so long ago. Yeah,
but counteracting that, I forgot how much I remembered from watching it.
I literally forgot how much I forgot about it. I think, okay, so this is going to be a common occurrence for me. I don't know if it was for you, but I think when we first watched the movies, we don't pay as much attention as we did to now.
No.
So I think that's definitely
well, I also was like 12, so.
Yes, but no. But yeah, so like this time around, paying more attention to things, which we'll get to. One little thing that I saw in Justice League that got me so excited, but I'll save that. Anyways, which you probably already know what I'm talking about. So, so yeah, so my first impression was like Russell Crowe is in this movie, and then I looked at for Man of Steel, one thing I took into consideration was, and for all the movies, is did they pick the right person to play the character?
Yes.
Which I didn't know a lot about.
I did as well.
Russell Crowe's character, but for Man of Steel, at least for Russell Crowe and what I don't know the actress name that he played with, I'm like, do they look like they could be Superman's parents?
Yeah, right.
And I said yes, like Henry Cavill could look like he could be a child of those two people.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what my first initial thoughts, and then going forward, not only for this movie but for the next movie, or for the other movies, is like, did they pick the right person to play the character, or someone that could potentially be perfect suit for the character? Which is why I'm so upset that Henry Cavill's not playing Superman anymore, because like you see all the pictures of Superman from the comics, from social media, from everything, and literally that image is Henry Cavill.
It's him.
It's him, and he's not gonna be playing him anymore. So
no, I think he will.
No, I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it.
That's fair enough. I had the same thought processes going in, because a lot of the movies or the characters in these movies, I was like, damn, they're really good at this.
Yeah.
It just makes sense. It almost like sometimes when somebody's not a right fit, you can tell. It's like they're trying too hard.
Yeah.
And then it's a right fit when it seems very natural.
Right.
Right. I agree. I forgot he was in it as well. But I really liked his character a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously,
it was a very Russell Crowe character. Like, it gave me Gladiator vibes.
Okay, really?
Well, I mean, that's like one of my favorite movies, but yes.
I know, but that's very interesting. You know what's funny is like, after watching this movie again, because I haven't seen it fully since we went to see it when it came out, I don't understand, or I'm confused about the amount of flack that it gets, because I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, I did too. And so there is one thing that I did not like about this movie, and I think it's just my personal opinion. So when it comes to action movies, okay, this might be a reason why I don't know for this one in particular, because in this movie, Superman's learning just how to be Superman. Like, he hasn't been being Superman for however long. Like, he knows he has the skills. He knows he has his skills since he was young, but he hasn't used them to fight off any bad guys or whatever. So he's kind of, the flack might be coming from that he looks so like he new. Yeah. He looks green because he doesn't know how to fight, right? But here's something I realized for this movie, and this is going to play a lot into my critiques for all the other movies, is action movies that involve superheroes that don't require hand-to-hand combat can be super boring, because like they could stand 20 feet away and it'd be considered action, whatever thing that they do. And it's simple, it's not like hands-on. It's not like in your face. It's not like fast paced. Cause like some movies that were like more hands to hand on combat were faster paced. They were like more fun to watch. And it was like
easier to follow those movies too. Yeah. This can become very difficult when you have this type of fight style, because it's like they're flying and then they're smashing into things. I do see that, where like certain points during the fight scenes, it was hard to like figure out where they are and focus.
Not just figure out. It's just like, it was, like Superman fighting people of his own kind that like can fight like from 20 feet away and still attack you. Like, it's not very actiony. Right?
They're not it's not touching each other.
No. And probably the flack came just for, I guess, so the director of Man of Steel was also Zack Snyder.
I know.
So it might have been just how new or how green he made Superman look. That might have been it.
Yeah,
Potentially.
I see that, but and I understand because maybe it could, the pacing can be a little slow, but it's also like you have to understand that it's an origin story.
Yeah, and this movie definitely did have a slow start. Like the first hour,
Yeah.
was more like background and info and I dropped something
But
and
also too,
everything.
like as much as like it's it can be kind of strenuous, I do find that at the end of it, like I appreciate it more because a lot of movies, certain movies just fly past that stuff really
Yeah.
quick, or they
Yeah.
don't have it at all.
Yeah.
So
And they want you to think that you just know. It's like
yeah, and it's like it's kind of appeasing to the normal, not comic book nerd fan base
person. Yeah.
person.
Because
Yeah,
they're taking into account that like people that haven't read the comics or don't know who this person is or watch TV shows and stuff.
it's like everybody knows Superman, but they don't know everything about Superman.
Yeah. Yeah. So I agree with that.
Okay, so let's talk about the characters.
Okay.
Let's kind of go with um your thoughts on the characters, how they were, the main characters mostly.
So as in like their development, including
Everything.
like the actors that okay. Let's see. So we already said this before. I think this movie definitely picked out like potentially the best people that could play each character.
Yeah.
Like Superman parents they pretty much look like they could be his parents. And plus Russell Crowe's an amazing actor to begin with, right? Henry Cavill looks like Superman, like poster board Superman, but also too, you knew that you can tell he enjoyed being Superman, right? Amy Adams, Lois, amazing actress, Lois Lane. Here's the thing that also about some movies that I don't like is how they rush romances.
My god, they rushed it.
I felt they definitely rushed this romance.
They definitely did.
Because it wasn't realistic.
No.
Like I know the end of the world does stuff to people, but like, come on.
And that's what I thought about too. They do that a lot in superhero movies too. And I'm like, all right, well, I guess when you're fighting bad guys and the world might be over, everything is heightened. So like maybe that makes sense why you guys would fall in love with each other so fast. And like he did save her life, multiple times. And he is like a hunky superhero multiple times.
And plus, this Superman, they showed that he actually went through some trauma as a kid.
Yeah.
Like he was bullied. He saved people, but like got no credit. And they thought he was like a freak of nature. His dad literally died to protect him.
Well, I wrote down my notes, his Earth father compared to his Krypton father, because I thought that I feel like in a lot of ways they were similar and different.
Yeah.
Because
they were very similar because they both sacrificed their lives for him.
And they loved him and they wanted what's best for him. But I think for what's Russell Crowe's character's name? Jor-El. For Jor-El, I think that he wanted Clark or Kal-El or whatever wanted him. I think he wanted him to become Superman at a lot faster pace. I felt that way. And then obviously for Jonathan, he was like, when you're ready.
Yeah.
And once you understand everything, I want you to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can see that. It's probably because for Jor-El is that Superman is at the time the last of his kind.
Well, yeah, and it's his only hope.
Yeah. So that's probably
there's a lot more urgency with it.
Yeah, and thus people on Earth though wouldn't understand that. So I guess his Earth dad knew that like, okay, you're not from here, but like if you're gonna be on Earth, like you do it on your time. Like you don't have to follow any timelines you think that you have, which it showed in the car scene. Like he thinks that he's could do all this stuff, right? But his dad's like, no, like you wait until the world is ready. And then he sacrifices.
You're not my real dad.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, it's not like I haven't been fucking taking care of you for 33 years, asshole.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing that I pointed out because I thought it was just really interesting, like the dynamic between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Just because obviously they're parental figures in his life. But I think as far as I think they did a really good job with the Superman character.
Yeah.
As far as development goes.
I think so.
Like
because you would think that he has all these superpowers and stuff, like he wouldn't get bullied or he wouldn't have trauma or anything, but he did.
Like or just like not even show that everybody knows Superman across the board. He's the guy, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost like you're gonna show him in that way and not. It's like they showed a lot of the humanity behind him,
right?
Which was a big, and this is the other category, kind of like message of the movie of like his morality and whether or not that makes him stronger or weaker.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I think as far as like the Superman character overall in this movie, they did a really good job with showing his development and figuring himself out. So I really like the movie.
Yeah.
Anyway.
When it comes to the section for characters, it is one of my top rated in terms of points.
Yeah. What other characters? I liked Lois a lot. I agree with you that the romance was so rushed, but
that's fine. Like almost every
it's fine
movie.
But I think at certain times she was a little overbearing. Like, what was that one scene? The one scene where Superman is like choking General Zod and General Zod
yeah, those people. And he snaps his neck,
which I was like, you better snap his neck.
I think that scene,
and then she's right there. It's like, girl, like he's Superman, let him do what he has to do.
I think
like,
though she was
dick.
That scene though was very, I think now rewatching it was very powerful because I think in that moment he realized at the time that now he definitely is the last of his kind, and he killed the other last surviving member that he knows of. So he cried out in pain because now he no longer has a way to connect to his people because his planet's destroyed, his parents are gone, the person that could bring Kryptonians back is now dead because he just threatened to destroy Earth.
Yeah, and I think
he cries out in pain and agony.
Yeah, and that was the thing too that I saw was the reason why that scene kind of lasted so long was because he was deciding about
to kill him or not.
The humanity on Earth versus his Krypton life and his people.
Yeah.
His people and his other people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's an internal struggle for sure.
Yeah. I'm like, dang. Didn't notice this 10 years ago.
No. But yeah, I really like, I mean, I love Amy Adams too.
Yeah.
And they had really good chemistry together. Like it was very natural the way they interacted, Lois and Henry. Lois and Clark.
Yeah.
But I think certain scenes it's just like girl, you're a human, you're a reporter. First of all, you're a reporter, girl, and just like calm down. You know what I mean? Like I just kind of felt that way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I did like her a lot. She did really well. I think the bigger plot was those topics we discussed of like humanity and morality, because what was that one Kryptonian lady's name?
Which one?
The fighter girl.
Oh, I don't. I don't.
That girl. You know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
Because she told him along the lines of like having morality is a weakness.
And that's why, right, because they can't feel, they don't have it, or they can't feel that emotion.
Like that's something he's learned on Earth.
Yeah.
And so I like the idea of like, I think that was a really big plot and kind of underlining storyline within the film.
Yeah. You're making me rethink my points here, Kim.
Well, what are some of your points? What are your plot points?
No, not plot points. I meant like actual points.
Well, I told you that it's almost that time, so I'm very emotional.
I mean, it wasn't that time for me, and I almost cried when his dad sacrificed himself.
Oh, that was so sad. I didn't even remember that. Like, I know his dad died, but I didn't even remember like that scene.
Yeah, in that way.
So what are some of your plot points that you liked or disliked? Well, obviously, like finding your potential.
Yeah.
Finding out who you are. That's a common theme in a lot, like most of the superhero movies.
Yeah.
Like finding your place with this power. Is it a gift? Is it a curse? You know?
Yeah.
Which is always relatable. But I liked talking about being afraid of the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because in a lot of ways that's very true.
Yeah. I mean, especially for his character, because like, so they don't talk about it in this movie, but if Batman and Superman was on this list, he was mixed received in terms of,
I mean, we're gonna watch it next.
So in terms of like how people accepted him, he was mixed received, and I'm like, really? Like,
but even if you think about it, at the end of the movie when he was talking to the colonel, the colonel, wink wink, they had that conversation of, how do I know you're not going to turn your back on me?
You just have to trust him.
You have to trust him. And it's like, it's like he's like, I grew up in Kansas. I'm very American.
Yeah.
You know? But you kind of saw that a little bit because they were kind of like, how can we trust you?
Yeah. And you just have to.
So you have to, but it kind of shows a little bit, if anything, of that mixed perception.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, he's a beacon of hope, but you never know.
He's like separated because he looks like us, but he is not us.
Yeah, it's not like he's like Captain America.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean?
Or Batman.
Yeah. But well, I only say Captain America because he's a lot more American.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I saw that a little bit at the end. I don't know if you agree, but
I agree. So I'm not good at pointing out plot points like you are, but like I can go into detail once you bring them up.
Well, I literally just watched this movie like 2 hours ago.
That's true too.
In my mind.
That's true too.
So I think as far as like, I find the more emotional plot points obviously are a lot more like gravitating.
Right. Yeah.
Because again, there's a superhero formula of like, good guy saves the world from the bad guy who wants to take over and da 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 da. Like
it's on repeat.
Yeah. So it's like finding those things, and I think that's ultimately like the most important thing is like the emotional stuff that people can relate to.
You're right. Yep.
So I really enjoyed those lessons in the film. I enjoyed it a lot. What about we talked a little bit about the action.
Yeah, which is all I really have to say about it.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. I wrote down that Jor-El gives me like Obi-Wan Kenobi vibes.
I can feel that too. See that too.
Like, does he not?
I mean, I kind of.
It's just because he's like, go this way, go that way. You know?
Sure, Kim. Sure. Obi-Wan Kenobi vibes. So my bonus points was then when this is not for the movie per se, but it relates back to Henry Cavill, is they in one scene playing Kansas City football in the background, and he's now a Kansas City football fan. So That was one. And then two, I don't know if you noticed. So when he was facing Zod by himself on the construction site, right? He falls, he gets pushed into the sign that says accidents, no accidents since this day. But as soon as he hits it, it turns to 0. So those were my 2 little bonus points.
I'm giving 1 bonus point to the military girl that called him hot. Because I agree.
And because the colonel turns around and
he was like, why are you smiling?
Him?
She's like,
he's hot.
She's like, why are you smiling? She's like, he's hot. I'm like, yes, girl. And I'll give extra bonus points to like that, like Henry Cavill, just like that physical appearance is so good. Stubble guy. Do you remember we used to call him Stubble guy? Because we didn't know his name.
Did we? I don't remember that.
Well, Julia used to.
Oh, Stubble. Oh, yeah.
He came with us.
You Stubble guy.
Stubble guy, because he had all the beard and stuff.
Yeah.
So hot. 2 weeks in a row. Sorry about him. So those are my 2 bonus points.
Gotcha.
So 1 out of 5 for characters. What would you say?
4.
Okay. I will say the same thing. So 4 points for characters from both of us. How many points 1 through 5 for plot?
So originally I said 3, but then after we talked, I'm going to give it a 4.
I'm going to do a 3.5. Why are you laughing?
I thought you were going to say
like the emotional things were really important, but
yeah,
I don't know. I really didn't like the villains that much. They weren't as intriguing to me.
Oh, I mean, all right. Put me down as 3 then. Now that you mention it, I'm a 3.
Well, you got to write it down. I'm not writing it down for you.
No, I did.
Okay. You know what I mean? Because like I get where they're. I don't know. Maybe it was because like I understand where they're coming from. Because like in a lot of ways you have to understand, but I didn't feel it.
Yeah. 2.
Yeah.
It wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the best.
It's just that yeah. And then bonus points. I have 2 bonus points.
And 2 for me.
Do we want to talk about Shazam?
Sure.
Let's talk about Shazam.
Shazam.
I like Shazam. Oh, wait, stop. Did my notes just die? Okay, no. Oh my God.
Podcast over if they were.
So let's talk about the characters of Shazam. Now, I have seen this movie a couple times, and it's a more recent DC movie. But I find that a lot of like I don't quite know if the kid character of Billy. It's hard because they almost seem like 2 different characters to me.
Yeah.
Kid Billy and like Shazam Billy.
You're right.
And so a lot of the times when, let me say, I do think Zachary Levi is a great choice for this.
It is. He is for sure. Because it's like, what actor is an adult that embodies a kid?
Yeah. And he has that like childhood, like fun.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's really great. Like he's like one of those people who like it fits.
Yeah.
But I think that just like, that's a hard thing for me. Like, that was a big thing for me involving characters because I think that in a lot of ways Kid Billy and Shazam Billy can be their own 2 different characters, but they also have to be synced, and I didn't feel like it was as synced.
It just felt like it was cool, but it just felt odd that like this kid can just transform into an adult.
Well, no, it's not that. It's just like the way that Kid Billy was and like a Shazam Billy was. I felt like they were 2 different people. Because they're supposed to be the same person. I felt that Billy...
The way they wrote him?
Yeah.
Was okay. Yeah, I can see that for sure.
And so it was really hard. It was kind of hard when, like, for instance, that didn't scene with Freddie and Billy when they're like fighting.
Right.
They're having that like, well, this and this and this and this. Hard for like me to like grasp at the fact that like
Billy's a superhero.
Or like yeah, like he's Shazam Billy, so I don't know. I don't know.
No, yeah, no, I can definitely see that. And like
that
when Shazam was trying too hard not to be an adult, it was weird. Like he was trying too hard to be an actual adult.
But no, I like that. I thought that was funny.
For some of the jokes were funny, but like I don't know, it just felt, for some things it just felt off.
Well, I mean, I think the whole convenience store scene, like that's real life.
Yeah.
How many times when you like you're underage, I mean, don't do it. I've never done this. But like you're like pretend to be older than you are and it just looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I think for characters, like I liked a lot, like all the like the family's so cute. They're so cute. And I wrote down Darla as like probably one of my favorite characters because well, speaking of Darla, and maybe this will help with my Billy analogy. So look at young Darla and Shazam Darla. See how it consistently transfers the way that she is.
Yeah.
From her kid character to her adult character.
Yeah.
And same thing with young Freddie and Shazam Freddie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just felt like in that transitional period for Billy, it's just two different people. Where it was hard when he was Zachary Levi, because I felt like Zachary Levi and the kid who played Freddie had a lot more like chemistry than the other two kids. And then like going back to it just felt like he was so dull and stuff. But it's like you had so much life when you were Shazam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Does that help understand?
That does make sense. Like why? I mean, I get maybe why he had to act differently because he's like this champion or whatever, right? And now like he has this weight on his shoulders.
More goofy stuff.
No, I know that, but maybe that's why he didn't transition over from like kid Billy to Shazam Billy. Like it's not the same as his siblings were, you know, maybe because he thought his role was different. Maybe,
but if that maybe they should have touched upon that more. I know they touched upon it more with like Zachary Levi Shazam, but I think a lot of it they have to go back to the fact that like he is a kid.
Yeah.
Doing this and like having those grown up like moments or aha moments when he's a kid.
Yeah.
Like you said, he's a kid ultimately being a superhero. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
No.
And it shows. And I think that's a great part about it is like he doesn't know what he's like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And of course his brother does because he knows all about superheroes.
Well, I was gonna say, and it's really cool that they have like the whole like it's in the world of like where Superman and Batman and
exist,
Aquaman exists and stuff, and all those little like Easter eggs with that and stuff. But that was the one thing for me is like I just felt like there wasn't cohesion between like adult Billy and young Billy. But that's kind of my one thing with the characters. I think the rest of the family, like the kids were really like they were really good.
Right, yeah.
I think they were, and the parents, it was cute. And again, like that's really relatable and stuff.
Normal superhero plot.
But I mean, in comparison to the last Man of Steel, I felt for this
kid more
a lot more.
Yeah. Because like he found who his mom was, and like his mom didn't want him.
No, I'm talking about the villain.
Oh.
Danielle, fucking pay attention. I said comparatively to Man of Steel, this does better at making me like emote and feel for the villain.
Oh, I didn't hear you say that.
I just said that. That's because we're talking about the plot.
Yeah.
So I liked it a little bit better in that regard because I I felt like I saw it and I felt for him a lot more. It still kind of was lackluster, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely relate more to this villain because I definitely think they showed more of his stuff. Like for Man of Steel, like they're just like, this is Zod, like here you go, you know.
Yeah.
But for this, they went more into detail about how he became the way that he was. And nothing for nothing, I don't blame him. I mean, he went to extremes.
But that's the thing. It's like
Yeah.
you feel for him. I felt like you understand when he's coming from. Like, because even where in Man of Steel, you understand where the Kryptonians are, that's their name, right?
Yeah.
They're coming, but I didn't feel it.
Right.
Where I'm like, oh yeah, like maybe he is right and maybe he should do this, you know? But I felt it a little more with this one.
I did for sure too.
And the action was a lot better, I'd say, in this one. It still had those elements of like the Man of Steel where they're flying into buildings and this and that.
I thought the action was okay. It didn't help that the movie I watched before this was Birds of Prey.
Fair enough.
So the action was like, it's kind of like Superman-ish a little bit.
Yeah.
You know? Of course he was more hands-on, I feel like.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's still like, So,
it's a cute movie.
It is a cute movie. It's very family orientated.
Yeah,
for sure. Bonus points is a lot of them had to do with jokes that were made, like Golden get swole jokes. Like
yes, Pager's trying to get swole.
Yeah, and then Geno Steaks in Philly's an actual. This is surprising. Out of all the movies so far, in terms of cities, I think Philadelphia is the only real city that they've used so far.
Yeah.
So
is it Philly or it's not Pittsburgh, right?
It's Philly. Yeah. Yeah. And then all the other bonus points were just like jokes, like, you know.
My one bonus point joke is the strip club scene. That was really funny.
That was funny. Why can't I see?
She's like, he has glitter. Can I have glitter? She's like, no.
No. No.
Like, really? That's the one place you thought of? I liked that one. And I liked when they all have their hand on the staff. He's like, say my name. And they're like, Billy. And they're like, no. That was funny too.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was definitely fun. The funniest one out of all.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think it's a good
They probably did that though because it was very kid based. Points. Should we get
to the points? Characters
3.
Yeah, I I want to give it because I really like the family. I like the family more than I like Billy or Shazam.
Yeah, the family was the best.
I'm gonna give it a 2.5.
Okay.
I know that's really bad, but
that's okay.
Everyone, don't kill me. Do not kill me. Okay, what about the plot?
A 3.
I give it a 2.
Oh.
Action
2.
I give the action 3.5.
Okay.
I actually liked it. It was cute. And bonus points. I have 2 bonus points.
Oh, I had 4. I just don't remember all of them.
That's okay. You know what? No, I'm going to do 3 bonus points because I like that it's in the universe of the superheroes and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool that they talked about it. Oh, and another thing too, when he threw the batarang at the guy.
Uh-huh.
That was funny.
What is it? A side note. Did you feel like after watching this movie that Shazam is stronger than Superman?
Yes. Yeah. I was like, he literally is Superman. He has all Superman's powers.
Yeah, exactly.
Besides the laser eye stuff.
But he can shoot stuff out of his hand. So what's
the breath?
Same but different.
I thought the same fucking thing. And I was like, he's literally is he not Superman?
So I looked it up and I'm like, is Shazam stronger than Superman? And a lot of people said yes. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting playing out.
I thought the same thing. And I was like, literally, you're Superman.
The one next movie that's supposed to come out is Black Adam, who is the missing person from the chair, the table, or the circle of wizards. That's the person that's missing from the 7.
It's Dwayne.
Dwayne. Yeah, an actual like full-fledged
I
villain
thought the
movie.
same thing. I
Yeah.
forgot what scene. I think it was the one scene after the like he saved the bus and he was
Yeah.
fighting with the guy. And I was
Yeah.
like, he literally is fucking Superman. Okay, well let's talk about Birds of Prey because you
Sure.
mentioned it.
Birds of Prey.
This was the one movie that I watched like the day before on my own, not all in one. I like Birds of Prey.
I did too.
I know a lot of people again didn't like it.
When I talked to Kevin,
I think out of all of the movies, this and maybe even Shazam, this is the one movie that kind of can like can stand on its own in the sense of like the normal person can watch it.
Yeah, I agree for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I like about it.
Yeah. So before I watched it, Kevin's like, I wasn't able to finish it. I'm like, really? Like, I didn't ask for an explanation why, but it might be that he didn't like it. But I actually enjoyed it a lot. Ewan McGregor as a villain plays an amazing villain.
Okay.
Oh no, she's like, I always think he's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
No. I think that. I mean, maybe it's just I don't know about like the whole character of Black Mask, but there were certain parts of his portrayal of him that I loved, and there were certain points that I didn't love. Like maybe certain times it just felt like a lot, but maybe that's just the character. There are other points.
I don't know much about the character either.
Again, we don't know anything
because they introduced him and then he's dead. So
yeah.
So he's not coming back anytime soon.
For instance, the scene where he kind of has that temper tantrum and he's throwing the pillows and shit.
Yeah.
Loved it. I thought it was so fun. I'm like, this is me. Like, this reminds me. I thought that was a good good portrayal of being extra.
Yeah.
It was like, I would fucking like, I don't know. And then certain things, it was just a lot. But maybe that's and it's not a bad performance. I think he's a great choice for that.
Yeah.
But
now that I think about it, for some of the characters, they didn't go much into detail about who they were. They just kind of were like, here they are.
So let's go into the characters then. First, we have Harley Quinn, obviously. Margot Robbie, who plays her, and the characters super well. Yes. Oh boy. Okay, it's gonna. Oh, and he's gone. What?
He says dinner. So, but Margot Robbie does a really good job of playing Harley Quinn.
Yeah, she is Harley Quinn.
So, and I think they do a really good job writing her story for this. But the thing is, we already have background from the Suicide Squad beforehand, right?
Well, the thing about this movie is that it's post breakup with the Joker, and obviously it's very much a leading factor in all of her decisions in the film. Like, she's going through her breakup. All of the mental stuff that you go through after you break up of, are you worthy, how they treated you, how you treat others, how you see others. I think that's a really good job of kind of like bringing her humanity into
all her decision making.
I liked a lot how they brought in her psychology into this film. Because I know for Suicide Squad, the first one, they had a scene like that, but they cut it out. Yeah. I watched like the extra thing. So I liked how they brought that in. They also brought in the roller skating.
Yeah.
Which is, I know it's big for her character as well. And obviously those things are important because I think the big influence with that is because Margot Robbie was a producer on this movie.
Oh, for sure. So she can make all the executive decisions behind it.
But as far as Harley, I think those were kind of my favorite things regarding her, adding those things that make her really like dangerous.
Harley Quinn. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 'cause she doesn't have any superpowers. Like
Yeah,
she's
but
like
she's
the
supposed to be
Joker,
like, but she's supposed to be as bad as the Joker, or
and she
even worse.
is,
And
and
she
she
is.
is.
And they brought a lot of those elements of her fighting style, her psychology and stuff, and this and that. So I really like that part. And obviously they like, I'll go into the next part, but she was one of my favorite characters. I really like Cassandra. Little
Oh, the
Cassandra.
little Cassandra.
I mean, but it's a little Cassandra.
Yeah,
Um, I thought she was really cute. I liked her a lot.
yeah, she was pretty cute.
The kid. But I think my favorite character in the movie is Black Canary.
Oh, really?
I really liked her.
I don't know if I like for this movie. I don't think I really have a favorite character of mine that stands out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think overall, I felt like they were all on equal playing fields.
They were all on equal playing fields, but also
like,
too like
one was like exceptionally better. Like it's not like Harley was exceptionally better, like a character as the others.
right. It's just I don't think they just took a lot of time to introduce the characters really. Like for some more than others, they went more into detail. Like the whole reasoning behind why they're going after this diamond plays more into the one character of the Huntress than the other characters. So
Right.
they of course they're going to go more into detail about her.
Mm-hmm.
But
Black Canary, I thought she was dope.
I thought the actress for her was really good.
Journey Smollett.
Yeah.
I do too. And I like that they did a different look for her as well.
Right.
You know, but I just thought she was my favorite character in it for sure. I just thought she was really, especially like her scene with Cassandra on the stairwell was really cute.
Yeah.
And sentimental.
I mean, if it wasn't for her, then no one would have tried to save the kid.
Well, that's the thing too. Like her relationship with Cassandra was like really protective and stuff, which I liked. I love how she ate the diamond. That was really
she's like, I ate it. Harley's like, what? There's two ways we're getting this out of
the
you.
Laxatives.
Yeah. Or we're gonna cut you open.
But I watched a couple interviews with like the actors in it, and the whole idea of like is being emancipated from something, which goes into like the plot. We can go into plot and stuff about it. Which I thought was a really cool concept of like getting free and letting go something.
I definitely think that plays a lot into this because just how the Joker is as a character and the way he treated Harley Quinn, which was like shit, you know, excuse my language. It's worse abusive. It's not even abusive. It's like a whole nother level of abusive when it comes to relationships.
It's like a horror movie. Yeah. It's like traumatizing.
I mean, like,
I don't know.
I would not fall in a vat of toxic waste for anyone. Like that's trauma in itself. But
right. And I think, yeah, and and a lot of it has to do with the fact, and they kind of go with Harley's backstory a little bit in the beginning, but just her upbringing wasn't the best and stuff.
Yeah.
So there's a reason why you do certain things, obviously. That's why
and
she's so clingy to the first one.
Right. And this movie was about her finding who she was without him because she thought that she couldn't do anything without him because he was her protective shield, even though that he was such a shitty partner to her. Like, if Joker was, since she was Joker's girl, no one would touch her. But now since she's vulnerable, she's open season.
And she has to make decisions on her own.
Yeah.
And also, too, like, side note, they go into this aspect about her, too, in the most recent Suicide Squad 2. Which I liked. But I think, like, that was a really cool concept of, like, being free. So, like, even with the Huntress, like, getting her revenge.
Right.
On the people who killed her family. Being free of that just emotional burden. And, like years of, like, finding vengeance.
It took her forever to come back and be like, boof.
Well, I mean, she was like a kid.
Yeah.
But like that eats up at you too. So I thought that was really cool. I think as far as like plot, as far as like villain and she's not even superhero. Like this was a lot better.
It
Like,
was.
Equal,
it was out of the
clear
norm.
understanding.
It was clear understanding, but also it was out of the norm because in comic book speaking, right? Harley Quinn's the villain. Birds of Prey are actually superheroes.
Yeah.
So, but this doesn't follow the normal superhero movie. I mean, it does because like there's a bad guy and comes at the end.
I think what I'm trying to say is that like sometimes in superhero movies, the villain isn't as important as a superhero.
Yeah.
Not as equal.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
There's certain movies here that like even for Shazam, like we just talked about. I think here like it's a very equal like Black Mask. It's like as a it's like Batman and Joker. They're equal in popularity and knowledge. I feel like that's kind of the same way with this one.
Right.
It's not like one is better than the other.
Overshadows the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
kind of
really
like how Man of Steel was. Superman showered Zod.
But that's fine. But the action.
This was my top rated action one for sure.
I agree. That carnival scene.
That was really good.
And also too, I guess with actions, a lot of like the filming of the movie and like the way that things were shot, like for example, the scene where Renee Montoya is at the crime scene of those dead people, and it's kind of the moving shot where it's moving and then it changes to the Huntress murdering them and then it goes back to her. Like those things were really cool too. But yeah, the action scene with all the girls,
it was very whimsical in terms of not only action but filming. So
it was very what?
Whimsical.
Yeah, okay. Go.
You know? Like how they like, well, the way you just describe how they shot that one scene, it's very whimsical in how they did it. So they kind of followed that pattern for like a lot of the action scenes, you know, like
and obviously
different points of view going on at the same time.
Yeah.
You know,
like not, you know, like
non-traditional,
not a lot of cuts.
Yeah.
One shot stuff. Like, I was gonna say, I mean, this is the movie with the hand-to-hand combat that you wanted.
It is. Thank goodness.
It is. It really is. I like and like a lot of practicality too.
Yeah.
I like the part in the carnival fight scene where they were kind of like tossing Cassandra around.
Yeah.
Don't worry. They're like, don't worry, kid. We don't expect you to know any of this. And they're like tossing her around to make sure she's okay. I like that part. I liked when Harley gave Canary a hair tie because like that's true. Like how are you gonna fight with your hair down?
You want a hair tie.
Yeah. Just things like that. Like, and I think those are always like that specific thing is like that's like you can tell that's such like a woman's touch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which like I appreciate. Like it was directed by a woman. It's all woman or not all women, like female fronted.
Yeah.
You know, like those are the things that like I appreciate. So those definitely get bonus points for me. But yeah, the action was great. I really like this movie. And again, I think it's one of those movies because Harley Quinn, I think cinematically speaking, because Jared Leto's Joker is Jared Leto's Joker. Has surpassed the Joker character, I think.
Sure.
Okay, within this
Okay. These 10 movies.
I think in general, because everybody loves Harley Quinn. I mean, listen, Heath Ledger's Joker is iconic. Like, I don't put him into that category. Like, he's on his own.
He's on his own. He's on the top of the world.
Of course.
Okay. As long as we have an understanding for that.
But, like, in this DC, of course. No, of course.
For how they're portraying Joker in these new recent movies, yes.
Like, do you want to see Joker or do you want to see Harley?
I'd rather see Harley.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'd rather see Harley.
God, I'm not talking about Heath Ledger's Joker. Everybody knows that's the best Joker. Like that's like we're not talking about that. So for characters, I give the characters, I really like them. I give them a 4.
I give them a 3.
Okay. plot.
I said, I might have to change this. I originally said 4 because I like the movie way better.
Mm-hmm.
But I might give it a 3 just because the character developments are not what I particularly liked.
I'm gonna give it a 3 as well.
Okay.
Action.
4.
4. I give it a 4. It's the hand. I even just like in video games, I just prefer the hand-to-hand like combat style. Like I can't with like Call of Duty and the gun games. It's not my thing. Bonus points.
I didn't have any, surprisingly.
I'm gonna make it 2 bonus points because the movie had a great soundtrack to go along with it.
Okay, true.
Cause like you know how like it was made for the movie.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give that 2 bonus points. That's the one thing that because like that's what I was excited about as well when the movie came out was the soundtrack.
Right.
Similar to how like Suicide Squad in 2016 had like a soundtrack to go along with it.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what I give 2 bonus points for that. Okay, so let's go to Aquaman. We'll save the best one for last.
Okay. Can we hurry this up a bit? I'm hungry.
Danielle, shut up. It's literally like my bedtime. Stop.
All right.
Well, you still wanted to do it at 7.
I said 6.
No, and then I said 7, and then I was ready. I finished at 6, and you're like, "Can we still do 7?"
Okay.
Don't yell at me. You said it. Okay, Aquaman. I think. Well, I don't think. I know. I think out of all the standalone like origin or standalone like. I put origin stories in quotations. This was out of this bunch. This was my favorite
for sure. I mean, so I mean, it wasn't necessarily an origin. It's weird. So the one thing I don't like about the DCEU that it did was make movies about characters standalone after Justice League. You know, like I want to see them before more so.
Well, but
this one plays out well because it ties into the fact that he did this grandiose thing with the Justice League and defeating Steppenwolf, right? So that's why Mara's like, this is proves even more why you are the rightful king of Atlantis.
Yeah, this is like the exception to it for sure.
Yeah.
I really like this movie a lot. I think that this has
look past Jason Momoa.
No. I mean, if somebody is born to play this role, I'm so glad they changed it.
Yeah.
To make him do it, and like you know, I think that's amazing, and like everybody was on board with that. It's not like I don't think anybody was not on board with Jason Momoa playing Aquaman. You know what I mean? But I think that this was probably the best and most what's the word? The most transparent movie of like showing a hero's journey or the hero's journey. You know the hero's journey, like in stories?
Yeah, no. I'm just trying to understand what you mean by transparent. Like
it's very like it because you know how stories and movies follow that.
Yeah,
it's like you can pinpoint out each moment of like call to action. And then that. And I'm not saying that as an insult. I'm saying like as a good thing.
Yeah,
it does a really good job of like having like doing that really well. I think this again, the story is really well. So okay, characters.
I don't know if this falls under characters or plot, but I just thought about this. It's very interesting the way the movie goes is because Aquaman is still a hero at the beginning of it. He saves innocent lives and stuff. So then like, and I know he's not a big fan of his people, but like if they fall under the innocent lives category, wouldn't you want to like step up and save those lives too?
Well, didn't he do that?
No, but at the beginning, he was very like, I don't want
Well,
to
they,
be
well,
Atlantean.
well, he's under the impression that they
Everyone
don't
hates
want him
him.
there. He's like the bastard child of the queen, and they
Yeah.
killed her because of that.
Yeah.
So obviously, there's a lot of more deep rooted guilt he has.
Right.
Um, and I think even too, like his relationship with Orm, like he's the bastard child, and I say that in quotations, but they don't really like. They still have that kind of like understanding of each other. It's not
That they're
like
brothers.
you're the blah 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 blah. You know, I
Yeah. I think
I
part of it
love.
I think part of it is also too that Arms knows he's not the bigger person. Cause like, you know what I mean? Like I think he kind of knows that Aquaman or
It,
Arthur, I guess you could say,
yeah,
Arthur is a better person than him. Like he definitely
of
deserves to
course,
rule. Like he just saved the freaking world not a few months ago,
of course.
you know?
Um, I love the Nicole Kidman's opening scene, the
Yeah,
fight scene.
that was
I
really
put
good.
down as one of my points, and it's gonna be one of my bonus points. Those like water police or whatever the hell they are.
Yeah,
I love the way that they look.
really.
The white and the blue.
Yeah, it's
I think it looks
different.
so cool.
Hmm.
Um, I,
The red was later on was Ant. The white and the
yeah,
blue though.
I thought they looked so cool. I liked. Okay, my favorite character in this movie is Mira.
Really?
I know. Now, if I said this when the movie came out, we would all be like, yeah, totally.
Yeah,
And
but
obviously, I'm putting my biases aside,
yeah,
but it's a shame that she's such a good character.
yeah.
I love her water bending. It's it's really cool. And that was and like this the scene and she's obviously like an equal to Arthur. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like she's equally as determined as him. She's equally as appreciated as him. Like
Yeah,
she's again, she's not lesser than him. They're partners in this adventure that I really like. Um the scene where they're, the fight sequence too, and they had a lot of moments of like the going back and forth with Black Manta.
yeah.
And she and the water police, which is I don't know what their name is, but where she did the
Wine.
wine water
Yeah,
bending, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
yeah. That was
And she
very
does that again
innovative.
too in Justice League too.
Yeah, it's
Um,
um, it's cool that they showed her guilt of how she felt leaving her people.
mhm.
Like when they were on the plane, she's like, what she say? She's like, she knows she's doing the right thing, but she also knows that she's hurting a bunch of people because of it, and
Yeah.
she feels guilty for it. You
And it's
know?
like that's okay to have those feelings.
Yeah. You know.
Um so she is my favorite character in the movie.
I
Which
don't
like
know. I don't know if I have a stick out favorite for this one
but they're
either.
all like but I think all the characters overall are very well.
Yeah,
They're
they
very
are
well
for sure.
done. The plot of the movie, like I said, I think it's a perfect example of like a hero's journey. It's very like transparent in that.
Right. Yep.
And it's real. I mean, his Arthur's whole spiel trying to get the trident of like, I'm just a person.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm worthy,
He
but
doesn't think he's
what I
better
have
than
to
anyone
do.
else, and it probably ties back to him believing that he's the reason his mother is dead. Like
Yeah.
he's not worthy for this. Like I'm the reason why my mother is dead, and like all these people hate me. Like I'm not
Hmm.
worthy to protect them. You know.
Yeah.
So which I get.
I totally, yeah, but that's so real. And I think
Yeah.
again, like he, and even too, it's like he obviously, he is so, like, he's so, how Superman is like a human.
Yeah.
but he's Superman. Like I feel like Arthur
Is human.
more human.
Mhm.
I mean, he is human technically. He's half human, whatever the fuck that means. But like, even throughout the whole thing, he's like, you just think he's just like a guy just figuring this out. Like, it's almost like the fact that he is an Atlantean. He's like amazingly gifted and has all these powers. Like, that's such a second nature thing.
Yeah, and plus too, like out of all the characters, like he was never exposed. Oh, I mean, Superman wasn't exposed to his world either, technically, but like he not only wasn't exposed to his world, but he didn't really like embrace who he was until he had to.
Yeah. So I really liked I the action was really, I mean, the movie was beautiful.
Yeah, the action was also really good in this one too.
And obviously, like the factor like of having, I was curious about when I first watched it because I'm like, I wonder how this is gonna look with them being underwater.
Yeah.
Because that's a big component of the movies. Like the fact that this is supposed to be underwater.
Yeah.
And it's curious to see how action and the action would be in it, but I like it a lot. It's really good.
Yeah.
And they just had like beautiful colors. I like how like they incorporated like a lot of the sea into, like, even like Mira's like jellyfish dress was pretty.
Yeah.
I think the action was really good. It's like both on land and in the water.
In the water was good. Because it had to be hand to hand for most of it.
Yeah.
Besides Mira being waterbender. But
I think it was good. I think my favorite scene is like the Italy scene though.
Yeah, that was very well done. I think that was
really good.
Might be one of my favorite action scenes.
Yeah.
That was out of all of these movies. Just for how well done it was and how it was shot.
You know what and I just thought about this. I like Arthur and Mira together because it's like he's teaching her about the land and she's teaching him about the sea.
Yeah.
And they're both willing to learn.
They're meant for each other.
Ugh, it's so cute. Ugh. God damn it. I just hope moving forward, because I think they're shooting the second one.
Yeah.
That the movie doesn't get like affected.
Bad reputation because of one person.
Yeah.
I don't think it will. And
it's a shame because she's really good in this movie.
Yeah.
But
dang it. Why'd you have to be like that?
Whatever. Some people are like that. Characters. I'm gonna give the characters a 4.
I'm gonna give them a 3.
Why do you say like that?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just gonna give them a 3.
I'm gonna give it a 4. The plot. I might give this a 5. I'm being serious. I'm gonna give the plot of this movie a 5.
Really? Oh wow.
Yeah. I think it's that good. I really do.
I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was that good.
No, I thought it was like, I mean, I thought it was that good. Like, this is like clear and concise and everything like makes it just, and also too, like, what's this one movie? Comparatively to like Birds of Prey, because I didn't mention this. It's like this is like straightforward. Birds of Prey kind of went back and forth, and sometimes it was confusing to me. I like that style, but when it works well. But I'm gonna give the plot a 5. I thought it was really good.
For that, I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
Wow, damn. I cried during this movie.
I think for me, it's hard for me to be impressed because I've seen so many. Like, I need a movie that like
it makes me cry. And his parents stop. His parents are so cute.
Yeah, that was pretty cute at the end.
And also, like, little baby Arthur is so cute.
The action gets a 4 for me.
I'm gonna give the action, okay, because that one scene's really good.
Yeah. I'm
gonna give it a 3.75. I'll round up. I'll give it a 4.
Yeah, okay.
Should I do 3.75?
No, 4. Give it a 4.
Okay.
Let's be easy peasy.
And then bonus points?
I give it a 1 because I give 1 bonus point because I love Atlanteans are all mythology based. So the history in this movie, I mean, I'm a history nerd, so I give it a bonus point for history.
Okay. See, I didn't do any history.
This is why. Because it's not only touched about in this movie, it's touched about whenever anyone talks about Atlanteans, is how advanced their technology was. So like they talked about it in, like, for example, Assassin's Creed. They're like, the Atlanteans had all this advanced technology and they had to sink because of
which
blah, blah, blah,
movie? Which game?
Odyssey. The only Greek one there is.
Oh, I didn't play that one.
No. So it's like a common theme, which makes my Greek nerd come out.
Yeah, see, I didn't do, maybe I'll do it in the last movie we're going to talk about, but I didn't do extra bonus points in mythology because I think what the DCEU does really well is explaining the mythology and letting the audience know what's up.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to just put it for like one movie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do an extra point for the water police. I really like them. Last movie.
Woo!
So I'm not gonna lie.
Uh-oh.
When this movie got picked, I was like, Danielle's gonna fucking kill me.
4 hours.
Well, I know, and I wanted to watch it, so I'm not mad about that. But I was like, Danielle's gonna think I did that on purpose. But also too, I put the original cut on too, so it's not like I didn't.
Oh, thank goodness that wasn't picked.
No. So I was like, I'm glad it was this one.
Yeah, me too.
Of course, like who isn't?
I have a lot more notes on this one.
Yeah, so I watched it this morning. I really like it.
Yeah, me too.
It's
like
really good.
It is really good.
All right, let's talk about the characters. I'm glad that this movie came out for a lot of reasons, but I put down as Cyborg as one of my favorite characters. And ultimately in the original cut, he is like barely in it. And
that's the thing that I looked up. So I looked up differences between this one and the last one, and Cyborg, like you said, was barely in it. And this one, he has a lot more screen time, and they go into like his background.
Yeah, and it's
everything. Like, it's not just him either. It was for the Flash also.
Oh, the Flash. Then I put that as well. Barry and which was fantastic because they are probably two of the most important characters for what is happening in this film.
Yeah, they needed them. Like without them, the earth would have crumbled.
And that's the thing.
And I don't think in the original one they showed their importance as much.
No,
or emphasized their importance as much.
They played Flash off like an idiot.
Yeah, which he's not.
He's not. He's supposed to be very smart, intelligent, and
he is.
They barely played Cyborg in it at all. But Cyborg is such a fan favorite character.
Mm-hmm. He's always been ever since Teen Titans came around.
And also, too, I was reading some because I watched other people's reactions after watching the movie. I know that it was saying how like Ray Fisher was really upset with the original cut.
Yeah.
Which now I completely understand why.
Yeah.
And I would be too. Like as somebody who is like one a character in the movie, like you want to be in the movie, but two, like as a young actor who's like having their big break, you would think that they would be. But yeah, as far as characters go, like if this isn't a movie that like you see everybody and you're like they are supposed to be these characters, like specifically Wonder Woman. Like, I really do.
Yeah,
she just like Gal Gadot is so good.
She is really good.
Just like by her like facial expressions and her emotions in the movie, like when she's fighting, when she's having like sentimental moments and like emotional moments, like it's just she's so good.
Yeah, I mean for this movie she doesn't have as many emotional moments as like her standalone movies, because her standalone
but I'm saying
have more.
Like I agree, but You know the scene with the little girl?
Yeah.
I thought that was really cute.
Her being like a mom, pretty much.
Yeah, she's
Like, it's
"What's wrong,
okay.
princess?
Yeah.
You want to be?" And I'm like, "Okay,
Okay.
Jay."
Okay, Gal. Okay, Wonder
So,
Woman.
I mean, obviously, the reason that the characters are done well is because they're given the time to do so.
To
And I
breathe.
think that, and we can talk about this, and this is why I wanted to talk about it for this movie, is like a lot of the development of the characters and understanding what's happening, and also with the plot too, is because of the mythology.
Yeah.
And it's like, I love that they gave the time, and like they did a little bit obviously in the original cut, but like they gave the time to discuss the mythology and have people understand too. They did the same thing in Wonder Woman where they talked about it.
Mhm.
They did it in Aquaman too, and even
Yeah.
in Shazam. Like they do a great job of explaining this mythology of
To
what
people, of what
to
who these
people,
people are.
or the history of like the why this is important.
Yeah, and like why? Why now? Like for Justice League, for example, why now is this person coming and conquering and want these things? Like for
Yeah,
finish for Justice League, they definitely did a good job of panning out like, okay, this happened and therefore all of this stuff happened. Like starting with
right.
Superman died, right? And I don't
Well,
think the scene was in the original. Superman died,
no,
hence why the mother boxes were activated. Because now the Earth's mightiest protector is
they ain't
dead.
afraid of him no more.
Exactly. So
It's just like, I think too, this is like, what I liked about it a lot is because it goes like forward.
yeah,
It's very like,
it's not linear progression; it's forward progression.
yeah, but it's very much like this happens first and then this happens and then this is like it I like that.
Yeah,
I appreciate
it's
that.
like a an action and reaction. Okay, like this happened, now this is
Yeah.
next. This happens, now this is next.
But I'm just saying like the progression of like after Superman dies
Mm-hmm.
to when they save the world.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as far as the characters go, yeah, I mean, this obviously is an opportunity to have character development at its finest. You know, I mean, I think the Cyborg fucking rocks it in this film. Like
He does, yeah, for sure.
he's really like, shout out. He's like a main. He is one of those characters. Who else?
I just
think
love
honestly,
that they gave more screen time to both the Flash and Cyborg because, like,
yeah.
everyone knew, even though Aquaman didn't have his film out yet, like at least for when the original cut came out, he didn't have his film out yet. Now it's out, but it's supposed to be afterward. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
everyone knew who he was. Everyone knew who Wonder Woman and Superman and Batman were, right? So like they gave more time to explain like why the Flash is the way he is and why Cyborg is the way that he is. Mm-hmm. And that shows even more like how great they were in what they did in this movie. You know?
Yeah. I had a thought and then it went away from me. What I was gonna even say something else and I don't even forgot. Even like Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
You know, he is the villain, but like he's going away, or it, or whatever the fuck it is.
He's the villain that's also struggling at the same time.
And but comparatively to the first original cut, they didn't show any of that either. Nope. For him, of him trying to figure out if like be worthy and fix whatever wrongdoing what was happening,
what he did.
Yeah. So even that, I think they obviously did a great job of doing it. Oh, I was gonna say Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Now I love Christian Bale, so I am biased, and obviously, like we don't have a standalone Batfleck movie, right?
No.
So I think even too, like the stuff with Bruce and like making his promise to Superman and kind of like reassuring himself that he's even worthy enough to be a part of this team.
Right, because he's the reason why Superman is dead.
Well, no, yes,
Yeah.
but also like the fact, like after that,
Yeah.
like he's going through the fact of like I need to get these people together and like and them working together to see that he's equal,
Yeah.
and going through his own stuff. So I like this, even the stuff with him. Is there any other characters you want to talk about, Danielle?
Oh, well, so they introduced a bunch. So here's my big worry with this film. Okay. So your Mara was in this too, by the way. You didn't mention her. But
Mira, but she was in the original cut too.
yeah, but they introduced
But
new
she was
characters.
good. No, okay, fine. She did the whole blood water bending thing, which was.
So here's my thing I'm just worried about. They introduced a bunch of new characters. So I'm curious since Zack Snyder is supposedly not going to be doing any more films for DCEU, if these characters are even going to be in future movies. Like even the way that this movie does such a good job of setting up the future for what the DCU is going to look like. Yeah. Are they even going to follow that path that he set up? The whole
that's like
potential post-apocalyptic thing, because it should, according to the comic, it's supposed to, something like that's supposed to happen, where like Darkseid potentially takes control of Superman. Like all this is supposed to happen, but are they going to follow it and have all these characters they introduced, like Deadshot and Martian Manhunter and all this? Like,
no, and that's a common discussion that I've seen is like it's like, where is this going?
Yeah.
I agree. I thought you were gonna talk about Martian Manhunter.
Oh, because that scene that when he portrays Martha,
yeah,
when he portrays Martha and goes to Lois Lane,
Clark's Martha.
Yeah, every time I saw Lois Lane in this movie, I just wanted to cry. She just looks so sad. Like,
no,
she's like Amy Adams portraying the sadness that she had. Like, because the thing is like, what's so.
And here's the thing too, going.
Oh, I was gonna say the thing is why the sadness is so extra is she can only talk it to her sadness to one other person in the world, and that's it.
Yeah,
she can't share it with anyone else.
That too.
Yeah, like that. Like, if a normal person gets sad, they can talk to their friends, they can talk to their family or whatever. But like, no one knew what she was going through because no one knew who he was. So she only has one person to talk to. So every time, just like, and she had to like bear that in public every single day. Like, just looking at her, I'm like, she's so sad. My heart. And like in that scene, I didn't realize until I watched it, the picture of her and Superman in the background during the scene with Martha.
Oh.
Because she has pictures like everywhere of him.
Yeah, but but they've always had that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, to your point about where everything's going.
Yeah.
Like even in that scene with when Manhunter's revealed, it's like, and is revealed that he was the general, so Whiskey or whatever.
Yeah.
So obviously this has been something that has been brewing.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to think about. Like, even it's really cool to go back and like, I watched Man of Steel after this.
Yeah.
It's really cool to go back and be like, oh shit,
like that was him.
So I'm curious to see if they do anything with that.
Yeah, because think about it. If he didn't go to Lois Lane to tell her like, you need to start living again, like Superman probably would have destroyed the rest of the Justice League.
Probably.
So I think he knows.
That's a good point.
I think he knows a little more than what we know of him at this point.
She's the key.
Yeah, she is the key.
That's so much pressure. I would not want that. But I'm just saying, like, to your point of like, where is everything going?
Yeah, where is it going?
Everybody got so pumped to see him, and hopefully there's been something in the works since that. So hopefully it'll be working out.
Yeah.
But it was really cool. And even like his conversation with Bruce after.
Yeah.
Looks like he's gonna be around for a minute.
Yeah.
But then Batflack's not even around either. So
yeah, it's Pat Man.
Pat Flack.
Pat Flack, yeah.
Which I'm excited about, but
I don't know how I feel about it yet.
I'm sure it'll be good. So I think obviously everything is enhanced with this cut.
Yeah.
But the plot, great. And the action scenes, fucking great. I think one of the best for plot and action is like this whole sense of unity.
Yeah.
It's like, again, similar to how we talked about in Aquaman with Mira and Arthur. Like, everybody in this movie has their purpose.
Yeah, for sure.
They have their part of the team,
And they understand it well.
And they understand it well, and they work together really well.
They do. It's not like it's a team with a lot of people that have similar traits, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it.
No, you're right. It's like they're all they have their individual advantages.
Mm-hmm.
Or characteristics or whatever. So that was my favorite thing about this film, is like this sense of unity, and that they're all like, they're a team. Because in the first cut is just so empty to me.
It is for sure.
Because we saw it together.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember.
We watched it together at the movie theater.
Uh-huh.
And I remember we were walking out and we're like, that movie was good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I love it.
Thank you, Zack Snyder.
And I'm happy for him that he's able to release it,
Yeah.
The little end credit for his daughter.
Yeah.
I cried. It was so cute. I was gonna say something, but one of my favorite parts from the action scene is when they killed Stephen and they cut his head off.
Yeah.
Like, if that is not a message.
Yeah, like they did have to, but Wonder Woman's just like, eh. Because he was already dead. But she was.
And then obviously like the stuff with the Amazons and like the whole like mythological scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was fucking crazy.
I want to know like what was going through the queen's head after like she lost the mother box. Yeah. Like the one thing she was supposed to protect.
Oh my god, I just got chills. But even after, my favorite scene too from that was like, we gotta warn them.
Yeah,
they're not gonna know. It's not about them. She knows.
Yeah, she knows what this is.
It's not. I was like, men ain't shit. Guys, don't worry.
she'll know what it means. It's okay, as long as she knows.
Yeah, it was great. It was really great.
I think I had 2 bonus points. I gotta find the other one.
Oh, I know what my bonus points are.
Oh, I just like the epilogue in general, like the epilogue part of the movie, the last section. I think that was really good because it should set up the next movies, but we don't know. But I think, like, I enjoyed it. The epilogue. I think it was needed to icing on the cake on the new characters that we saw. Right.
Yeah.
But my favorite bonus point thing is when Lois wakes up to go to work for the first day in however long. And she opens up her drawer and there's a pregnancy test in the drawer.
Oh, baby.
I'm like, is she pregnant? Because then later on in the movie, and of course it could be that because they're engaged, but Batman's like, congratulations, by the way. Is it for the engagement or is it because they're going to have a baby?
Ooh.
That's
a good point.
Mm-hmm. So
that's a good point.
Oh my goodness. And then when they mentioned Resurrection of Superman, it gave me chills. And B,
they mentioned what? I didn't hear you.
The Resurrection of Superman. It gave me chills.
Yeah, everyone was losing their fucking minds.
Yeah.
So good.
But then also too, that whole scene of just
we know what we got to do, but like the music and everything.
Yeah, the whole scene with Clark out in Kansas with Lois and his mom. He just looked so like content. He's like, I'm home, but you know what I mean? And then like his mom seeing him.
I like the scene where he's moving his mom back in the house and he's wearing that outfit. I like his jacket. He looks really good. Anyways, that's not a bonus point, but I just like how he looks in that like corduroy jacket and
Yeah.
stuff. Anyhow, my bonus points go to I like how the overall tone, like the coloring and the tone of the movie
Yeah,
is so much better.
it is for sure.
Let's do some rankings. Let's find our list and then we'll get out of here.
Okay.
So, characters.
4.
4. I give it a 4 too. Oh, I was gonna also say Flash's running's terrible, but that's another thing.
The slow motion.
It's just what is
I remember I was watching it and I was writing down things. I'm like, did they show this for him in the first movie? Like, did they show how important he was? Because if he didn't run faster than the speed of light, right? Or speed of sound or whatever.
I don't remember them showing the part where he went back in time.
No, exactly. I'm like, did they even I wrote that down. Did they show that? Because like that was super important. And he didn't do that. The mother boxes would have never separated.
Right.
And I don't even they would have never like, you know, they
right,
the unification or whatever it was. Like I don't remember them showing it, or if they did a very poor job.
Right. I agree.
Okay. So 4 for characters. What about plot? I
give it a 5.
You give it a 5? I'm gonna give it a 4.
I give it a 5 because it's thorough, it's understandable. It's
4.5.
It's equal. Okay, fine. It's equal on both ends, like bad and good. Yeah. You know, I think it's
the villain was definitely well laid out here.
And
compared to the first one, it was way better. But in terms of all the villains, like okay, like they showed who he was, why he feels the way that he does, like all that stuff.
Yeah. And also too, like shout out the stuff with like they also like the stuff with Victor and his dad. They did so much better with that too.
Yeah, they did.
They didn't like the more of like the actual love and like respect he had with his dad. Because in the first one, it was just felt like all tension and he felt like a burden. It almost, you know.
Yeah.
And this one, he's like, I'm not a burden. I'm actually like great.
Yeah. Like my dad actually loves me and all that stuff.
But he's like, I'm not broken. Like
I'm not. That one scene is he's like, I'm not broken. That whole sequence.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
But comparatively in the first one, what I remember is like he felt like a burden. Like that kind of was consistent throughout.
Yeah. I don't remember also too if that one Superman scene of him in the ship was in the first one. When he's in the ship and he hears his dad's voices.
He's in the ship.
And all
Superman?
his suit. Yeah, his suit.
Oh, with the black suit?
Yeah.
I don't remember. But that was great too.
That was really good too. Because you mentioned when we were talking about Man and Steel, the similarities and differences between the two. And I think that scene just shows how similar they were.
Yeah.
And how Superman is like a man of two different worlds, pretty much.
Yeah.
So chills.
I forgot about that. Action.
I'm gonna give it a 3.5. Just because there was still like a lot of people being far away doing stuff.
Yeah. I'm gonna do the same.
Okay.
And then bonus points.
3.
I'm gonna do 2. I have 2 bonus points. Okay. Let's
see who
do
won.
some math. Summing of the results. That's not the proper word use, but I'm tired. So we had the 4 categories. We had 1 to 5 of overall of each category, and then we added all the numbers up, points, did the mean, divided it by 4, and then we got a percentage. And so based on that percentage, it'll be ranked 1 to 5, 1 being the best, 5 being the worst. I think we should start with worst. Not worst, but
Our worst.
not the worst. No, it's not worse. It's just the number 5. All right.
What was yours?
My number 5 was Shazam.
That's so funny. My number 5 was Aquaman.
What?
Yeah.
See, I told you we were gonna have different ones. Wow. Okay. My number 5 was Shazam. Again, it's not a bad movie. It's my number 5. And yours is Aquaman. Okay, whatever. What's your number 4?
Birds of Prey.
My number 4 is Man of Steel.
Really?
Yeah. Which
Wow.
again, I really like that. I like these movies. It means nothing. Okay, moving on. Number 3, what's yours?
Man of Steel.
Birds of Prey. My number 3 is Birds of Prey.
Uh-huh.
Okay. What is your number 2?
Shazam.
Really?
You want to know why? Okay, here's why. Here's why. Because the thing about Shazam is it had all the extra bonus points. That's why. The bonus points. Because, like, the character's plot and action were, like, equivalent to, like, Aquaman or whatever, but they had more bonus points, which I enjoyed.
And that's the... hey. That's what the bonus points are there for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, really?
So...
But yeah, it's number 2.
Funny enough, my number 2 is Aquaman. So we have opposites.
Yeah. We're complete opposites.
Yeah, but I said we were going to have different one.
Yeah.
And then my number 1 is your number 1.
Justice League.
Which is Justice League for, like, obvious reasons.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised either. Actually, no. I was surprised. I thought Aquaman might have beaten it, but no. But this doesn't, like, I think out of all of these movies, personally, Aquaman is my favorite.
Yeah.
But, you know, again, opinionally, Aquaman is my favorite. Factually, from these facts, it's
Justice League.
Coming up, we have our Marvel Part 1.
Oh, boy.
Which is exciting.
I watched the first one today. I watched one today.
The first one on the list?
No, I just watched one today. It's not the first one on the list.
Okay. I'm excited.
I already have thoughts about it.
Ooh, thoughts. Okay, well, Danielle, bring it home, sister.
All right, everyone. Thank you for listening to another episode of the M Sister Studios podcast.
Bit longer.
Yeah, this was definitely, I think, our longest podcast to date.
Because of that damn Justice League.
Dang it, Justice League and Man of Steel. Dang it, Henry Cavill. Freaking man. But yeah, so thank you guys, everyone, for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you want to see us do more critique like this, just let us know.
We're gonna.
Yeah. Let us know. Reach us out. You can hit us up or reach out or follow any of our social media platforms. Don't laugh at me. It's late.
We're so tired. Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's late for you?
It's 9. Yes, it's late for me. Okay.
It's tomorrow for me.
Yeah. All right. Stop bragging. All right. Stop pointing things out. But yeah, so follow us on social media. Make sure you like and subscribe to whatever social media platform you're on. Follow whatever it is. And yeah, and I think that's pretty much it. So with that being said, we will see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.